I got what you're saying.
You know where I'm going,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. We're on? Yeah. So we're going to start by just saying that the views and opinions expressed in today's podcast are not that of
And we'll play the hold on. And we'll play the let me get it ready. We're gonna play the
There you go.
Dude, he could put anything on at this point. I have no idea what you're thinking.
I'm kind of scared at this point. What are you pulling up there?
So you're gonna put on
no topics off topic.
Luke Combs again.
Go.
Oh, dang it! Hold on. Why isn't it?
Fail.
Yeah. For all. Does that change it?
Phone's broken, dude.
The views in this podcast are not any likeness and similarities are merely coincidental.
That's right.
Yeah, because we may talk about Tom Cruise here. It might be, I'm from Colorado.
I love South Park,
dude.
I'm going to. We're going to Casa Bonita for Thanksgiving. If you watch South Park, you know of Casa Bonita.
Who doesn't know?
I've
Casa
watched
Bonita?
South Park, but I don't know what it is.
Casa Bonita.
It's so cool, guys.
What part of Colorado are you from?
Colorado Springs, just south of Denver.
That's where the Air Force is, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grew up right next to there. I actually
That's
did
beautiful right there.
junior ROTC in high school because I wanted to be a fighter pilot.
You did? How come
did.
you ended up not being a fighter pilot?
Turns out you need good lungs and good eyesight to join the Air Force, and I have neither.
Yeah.
I'm like, even with this eye, even with, you don't have any, even with contacts in, I can barely read that.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's wild, dude.
Like in my right eye.
Wow, that's wild. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're from Denver. You're blind, almost blind in one eye. You want to talk about Tom Cruise?
Yeah, it's my headline on LinkedIn now.
Wait, what does your headline say now?
Well, now it's like the tagline of Private Auto, but then it says Utah's Tom Cruise.
Okay, but I was talking to someone about this just like 2 days ago. You know that Homeboy has the straightest yet most crookedest teeth ever? Have you ever noticed this?
We saw this on a You showed us this on a podcast one time, right?
So
don't
his
think I've
teeth,
noticed.
dude, his teeth are
Hilarious,
perfectly
bro.
straight.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
But his entire front set of teeth are just shifted slightly to the side. So like the middle of your face, it is the middle of your two front teeth.
Yeah.
Nope, it splits right down the middle of one of his front teeth.
Well,
You're
okay
looking
then.
it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, please show me. We need to
There's
see this.
there's pictures of it with a line drawn down his face, so you can see it because
there
it's
is.
like so many people are like, yeah, dude, what's up with this dude's jacked mouth?
And if you just type in Tom Cruise into Google, the top one of the top ones is Tom Cruise teeth.
Of course it is.
Look at how jacked it is, dude.
No way.
Wait, he's
right.
blind. He couldn't see.
Oh
that.
yeah.
Here, let me use my good eye. Here. Let me use my good eye.
Look at how gnarly that is.
You wouldn't even notice it without the line.
Oh, I noticed it.
Immediately.
Well, all right.
So when you're the Tom Cruise of Utah, you mean like you're riding motorcycles off cliffs and
Or is it more of a Scientology thing?
Not a Scientology thing. No, it came from. I posted a video on LinkedIn. It was this video I did for Private Auto where I was just running. That's all the video was.
Yeah.
It was like running towards someone to help them sell their car. And someone commented like, "Oh, it's Utah's Tom Cruise." I was like, "I'm putting it in my headline." Someone called
Dude,
me out
if
on it.
someone gives you that nickname,
Yeah.
Then you got to take it.
you run with
I'm
it.
running.
Yeah, you gotta go.
And funny enough, that night that they commented it, I was a background actor in a movie. So
What movie? A Tom Cruise movie?
it's not a Tom Cruise movie.
that would've
I
been-
have yet to be.
That would have been really cool.
Yeah, I know.
He can yell at you for not wearing a mask.
What movie
true.
was it?
It's called
The RM2.
No.
Dang it.
It's not out yet. But
And what do you do as an extra in it?
there I was a nurse.
Really? A
yeah.
male nurse?
I was a male nurse, and I ran out like there's a scene where like this dad is like walking away from his kids, dropping them off at the hospital. And so like me and another actress, one of the main actresses, we're like running out to be like, "Hey, you can't do that." Holding back the kids. It's a pretty emotional scene.
Sounds like it.
Pretty rough.
So is that something that you would want to pursue? You want to be an actor one day?
Not seriously, but like if the opportunity came, I wouldn't say no. Like
Yeah.
I try to be a background actor on at least one project a year.
Really?
How do you sign up for that? Is there like a one place or?
It's just UtahActors.ning or something. You sign up for their email list and you get casting calls often.
And then you
That's
just decide which
crazy.
one you want to go
Or
to.
you submit, and then if you get accepted, then yeah, you go.
Huh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, the things that I never knew about you.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on a quest to be like the most interesting man that you don't know a lot of things about.
If you peel
can dig
back
it.
the onion, it's interesting. Otherwise, it's
Exactly.
you're like, that's
just a
Caleb. Cool dude.
I'm just
nice
a
guy.
cool dude. Yeah, but I like doing random things because then like you can relate to people. Like when someone's like, "Oh, I'm interested in this thing," you may have done something related, so you have something to talk about.
Yeah.
It's really helpful when you have a podcast.
That's right.
We should try that sometime because our podcast usually resorts to poop jokes, and
I don't know about that.
I mean, there's been a lot of them,
There
dude. A lot of them. Future episodes. But we're waiting to release those.
Yeah, timing. That's hilarious.
But so on the Noda podcast, you've done. I don't
Yeah.
know why I didn't realize this. You haven't recorded in a while, but you recorded, you were closing in on 100 or more.
I think so. Yeah, I think
That's impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a good one.
I think it was just over 100. I think, and then I got too busy with other stuff, and I was like, can't do it. And I was doing it just for fun, like
Yeah.
no business needs, I just wanted to get to know people, and it was super fun.
That's
Got
why
to
I
know a
liked
lot of
listening to
people.
your podcast. It was just real talk. It was like,
Yeah, it was the entrepreneurs, right?
Yep.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and it was centered in business, but I always felt like, oh, you learn a lot about just the person in general,
Yeah, exactly.
not like what they did at a company. That was I don't know. I appreciated that.
Yeah.
I think there's too many podcasts out there that are like, let me tell you about driving down CAC. You're like, dude, I don't want to listen to that.
Yeah, exactly. You want something interesting
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. You want Caleb Whittle in a QR code jumpsuit.
Yeah.
But
doing the
I think you
thing.
need to tell the audience who's watching on YouTube why there's no matching pants.
Right. So
Because I think that's a perfect story for lunch
That's
break.
a story.
it's a perfect story. Yeah. So today I was getting ready to go, and the QR code suit was requested. So I put on the tracksuit pants, and apparently the leg presses that I've been doing have been working too well because the seam ripped right on the inner thigh. And I was like, I can't wear these pants.
Like a
anymore.
big rip.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty rough. But I did hit a new PR on leg press this week.
You did?
So I'm
That's
okay with it.
impressive.
I'm okay with it.
Are you like a Vasa gym rat or are you a CrossFitter?
EOS.
EOS.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where I go.
Oh, nice.
EOS.
Those are nice gyms.
Yeah. I've become addicted to just picking heavy things up and putting them back down.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I don't do CrossFit. I used to be a runner, and then I got burnt out. Didn't do anything, but still ate like I was a runner.
Well, and you apexed when someone saw you running and was like, that's Tom Cruise.
That's
You're
Tom
like, all right,
Cruise.
all right,
Like,
I
yeah,
made
you're
it.
like,
I
I'm
made
done.
it.
I don't need to do this anymore.
Like, all right, now I'm going to grow some muscle, and so that's been better part of this year, pretty
Yeah.
consistent, just lifting.
That's fun.
It's fun.
So do you like, for me, when I'm clearly not into it now, but when I was into it, I always liked leg day more. I loved squats. I loved leg press. Like those were the ones where I would nerd out on. When
Yeah.
it came time to do the bench press or whatever, I'm like, ugh, whatever.
yeah,
I don't know. Do you have one like type of movement you like the most?
leg press.
Leg press.
Just leg press.
Just because that's where I'm seeing the most gains from, or like
Yeah.
the most progress. I don't know if it's genetics or something. Like my upper body, it's so hard to like grow, but my legs, I can move weight. I don't know if it's because
Yeah.
I'm short. I don't know if it's short guys.
Dude, I don't know. I've got I'm like 5'9" standing. I'm 6'4" sitting. I'm all upper
torso.
body.
Yeah, torso. Yeah.
You saw how much
Yeah.
taller Dalton is than me? Look at
Yeah.
me sit. My leg barely doesn't even hit the floor, dude.
You're right.
But you look at me and you're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that guy's so tall. Nope. I just have stubs for legs, dude.
That's funny, dude.
I'm like back in
Yeah.
second grade,
Yeah,
my
swinging your legs
feet
on the
under
couch.
under the chair. But I wonder the same
That's
thing because like
hilarious.
I could always, I love squatting, dude, and I could stack plates.
Yeah.
But then you get me on a bench press or what, and I'm like, I'm weak. I'm pathetic.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm bottom heavy.
Well, your legs are stronger anyway, like all of your.
Yeah, but I mean, even in comparison to other people, like,
Oh yeah, okay.
like I would crush them on leg day, and then on every other day, I would just get annihilated.
Yeah.
Dude, last week I had this.
Crazy.
He had to have been like 19 years old. He was on the calf raises, and I was going up after him. I was like, "Hey, you done?" He's like, "Yeah, you gonna go for it?" And I looked down at the weight. It's 195. I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'll do something like that." And I up it to 280, and he's just like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah." And then I start repping it, and he's like, "All right, I stand corrected," and then just like walked away in shame because he was all like amped up, like, "I got this. Oh, you gonna go for it, bro?" And I was like, "Yep."
Yeah, that's not a warm up even, man. You know what the difference in that though
That's funny.
is? He doesn't understand dad strength.
Well, I'm not a dad though.
Okay, or man strength. You're not 19. You're
still-
not
he was
19,
still
but like
a
once
boy.
you become,
Yeah,
once
get
you
up,
like
yeah.
graduate from being a kid to a
That's true.
man,
Yeah.
I feel like instantly you're just 4 times stronger than you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so you've been going to the gym for like 6 months, 7 months, hard.
Since January.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh,
so a year.
I decided.
Was
I
it a New
like-
Year's resolution?
It kind of was. I had been working up. The thing about going to the gym is like to get consistent. I love excuses. Like come up with every excuse in the book. I mean, one morning it was like, oh, I forgot to get my clothes out and I don't want to wake up my wife by opening up the drawer. So I'm
Such a
just
nice
not going to go.
Such a nice guy.
So I'm just not going to go.
That's funny.
So I spent like 3 months at the end of last year just like experimenting with things. Like, why am I not going? Like, why did I not go this week? Or why did I not go?
Yeah.
And then, something clicked beginning of this year. I don't know if it was like I found a good pre-workout that had a ton of caffeine, and I was like, I need that. And in order to have that, I need to go to the gym. So something like that. But something clicked.
It's weird how I feel like I'm either all in or nothing.
Yep.
And when I was all in, dude, nothing would stop me from going. Nothing would stop me from eating great.
Yeah.
I don't know why that turned on for me one day, but it was literally like I woke up and I'm like, I'm going to the gym. And I went straight every day for years and then one day I was like, I'm done. And just cold. It like
That
doesn't
sounds
taper
like
up
a-
or down for me.
Sounds like an ADHD thing, man.
It's something.
It might be.
Something. Yeah.
I mean,
I say I've done that with a lot of things. And
yeah.
I can't go to the gym. I have to like do other forms of exercise,
What's your favorite form of exercise?
wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
That's a lot more fun than just picking up heavy things.
I coached my son's wrestling.
That's
and
cool.
And then I'll go to jiu-jitsu. Yeah,
That's cool.
it's the hardest thing in the world, though, dude.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Ice
There's
kids
something
are-
different about. Well, it's just you have like I love wrestling. The reason I love wrestling is the same reason I hate it, because like you have to be okay with just getting your ass kicked, and then as a dad, I have to be okay with like because we're in practice, dude, and my son is 5, and there's 6, 7, 8-year-olds in there who've been wrestling for 3 or 4 years, and then he'll get partnered with them.
So he's getting arm bars.
And so he
right.
he gets beat up, and then he'll take turn, and then he'll
Tossed
beat
around.
somebody up, and then he gets beat up, and just like when you watch him get beat up, you can't do it. There's not because like you can't do that, right? Like you can't be like
It's just what it is.
can't
that
intervene.
5-year-old's a real
Yeah.
dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you just got to be like support yourself while you just know this kid's heavier or that he's better or whatever, and you just got to watch, and then you got to let your son get beat up, and then you got to deal with all of that when he gets off the mat of all the
Yeah.
emotions of like I lost and like like damn it.
I boxed for like 6 months and my mom hated it. She came to watch me spar. She's like, nope, never again. Can't handle it.
Did you like boxing though?
It's the best workout ever.
It's so brutal, dude.
It's a
so
great
intense.
workout.
Like,
I
I
really-
loved it.
I got
miss
into
it.
boxing at a gym. It's now closed, sadly, called Koa Kingdom.
Okay.
And then that turned into me going to Muay Thai classes there.
Uh-huh.
And I dug
Muay
it.
Thai.
And I would like spar people, but it was just like super casual or whatever. And, and then they were like, okay, spar this guy for real. He was brand new. I'd been going about 4 months.
Okay.
I didn't get touched, dude. And I was like, I'm an MMA fighter. I'm in. And then they're like, all right, take this dude on who'd been in maybe 6 months longer than me.
Okay.
I took one punch and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, that's tough.
I like beating people up. I don't like getting beat up.
Nothing
dude. I don't
humbles
want to
you
get
more
touched.
than getting punched in the face.
Getting
especially
punched
in the face. But just in
He
general.
hooked me right to the jaw,
Oh,
and
jeez.
I was like, "Yeah, this is fun until you take a punch."
Yeah.
And then it's miserable. And I don't think I ever went back. It's like, I'm done.
Nope.
I had to deal with that the first time I was getting ready for my first boxing fight and boxing match. And yeah, I sparred with this guy who was just way better. And he punched me in the face, and I was like, this is going to suck. Like, this next 8 weeks of camp are going to blow, dude. And they did. They for sure did.
Yeah.
So,
It
how old
sucked.
were you when you were boxing?
I think it was like right after senior year of high school. I think.
Really?
Yeah. Actually,
nice.
no, it was because senior year of high school, I had some weird, I wouldn't even call them like friends. They were like acquaintances, I guess. And it was finals week. And they were like, hey, we're going to go box in my front yard. You want to come? Sure, I'll go. Of
course.
And then they
Yeah.
paired me up with someone who definitely had fought before. And I got beat up so hard, my contacts flew out. So like I could barely see. And then I had to go take a final like dazed with no contacts and a bloody nose. And I definitely did not pass that final.
You're gangster, dude.
Sweet.
Teacher watches you walk in, like, what happened to this riffraff?
Dude, yes.
Yikes,
Yeah,
dude.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
That was intense.
And it was just backyard stuff?
But you
Some
got,
Kimbo
you got
Slice
hit
stuff?
that hard, and then you kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you're more willpower than I have.
Or just
great.
dumb.
The things that you do when you're young,
Yeah.
For
yeah.
sure.
No, I would not do that now.
I feel like I'm going through a midlife crisis right now
Why?
So you need something
because
cool.
I'm in the middle of my life, dude. I mean, I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, I'm 43. How many people live to be 86? I'm on the back half.
So what crazy thing are you doing then?
I've ramped up travel. I
That's not a bad
want to
thing.
buy a 73
freaking
F-150.
wide body Ford, baby.
Yeah.
thick boy.
Thick
Yep.
boy.
Yeah.
If you get that, you need to have a like full on window sticker in the back that just says thick boy.
Thick boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I started dabbling in adult substances. So
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay. All right.
yeah, like
Nothing
I
wrong
don't
with
know.
that.
I'm finding new hobbies. I started a business. Like all of these things, I was like, my time is running out. I need to do something new. I need.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I look, and now I've got a kid who's graduated.
That's crazy.
When she graduated, it was like another level of, oh my gosh, she is now old as my wife was when my wife and I got married.
That's scary.
That's
Yeah, so I'm
wild.
like, okay, if she follows in that footsteps, I'm a grandpa by 45. That's scary,
That's
dude.
crazy.
That's scary. So yeah, life comes at you fast, I guess.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild, dude.
Huh. You don't look that old.
Oh, I feel older than that. You're quite a bit younger than that, right?
I'm 32.
Oh yeah, you guys are babies.
Yeah.
Dalton
How
over
old are you,
here.
Dalton?
29.
At 30, you'll have like a third life crisis.
Yeah.
It happens.
Oh, it happens.
That's when I
I
first
don't know,
like
dude.
really hit the gym hard. Was when I turned 30. I was like, I'm not. It was I hit 29. And I was like, I'm not going into my 30s out of shape. I'm like, nope, because I had been
That's
in
right.
great shape, playing soccer and doing and then
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you get married and you have kids, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, in the last 3
Everything-
years I've just
yeah,
put on
everything else
40
matters,
pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Well, no, that's why I had to take my son to wrestling. I was like, we got to get you in there because you got to know how to wrestle, and I got to lose some weight.
And I got to lose some weight.
But Dave, talking about you were talking about dad strength earlier, dude. That's a real thing because I learned that too. We were wrestling, and I coach. I do mainly like the youth wrestling. I coach youth wrestling, but then I'll like help spar with the high school kids, and so I'll go to the heavyweights.
Yeah.
And you got some of these guys returning state qualifiers, like big boys, and like you can just there's like a difference in your mindset of how to use your muscles.
Yeah,
And it's
it's
like
man strength, dude.
yeah,
I'm telling you.
It's like there is a difference because these kids are strong and they're good and they're big. You know what I mean?
and they
But
do
like,
it every day.
Yeah,
and
but I'll go wrestle them and there's a big difference between like, like the percentage of the muscles that you're actually using. Like they're not using 100% of what they, you know what I mean? They're not maximizing how strong they are.
Interesting.
Whereas like older guy, like
Yeah.
we're just, that's it. You know what I mean? Like you're using 100% of the muscle or whatever.
Yeah.
Because
And I wonder how much of it is just like mental too. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, like they don't want to hurt. I was like, you'll be fine.
Or
this
you've just
isn't
been through so much pain that you're like, I don't care anymore.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've wrestled enough of those guys to be like, yeah, we'll be fine.
this isn't the case now. My little brother, he would not only beat me up, he would kill me. But he's always been a bigger kid. Like have you seen the movie Twins
No.
with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they find out that they're actually twins.
Yep.
That's like me and my brother, only I'm Danny and he's Arnold. Like he's a giant, dude.
That's hilarious.
And he was always like that, but because I was his older brother, I could always like kick the crap out of him and
Yeah.
you know. And then one day he became a man and it was like, yeah, dude, one swing and I would be dead in 10 seconds. Like
Yeah.
just, but I think there's the reason I bring that up is I think there's this mental thing. Like he could have destroyed me for years.
Yeah.
But just mentally, I think
Yeah, there
he
was
was
like
like, well, that's
lot.
my older brother.
Right.
And mentally, I'm like, I'm the older brother. Like,
I got
Yeah.
this.
I'm going to
Yeah.
break your arm if you're not careful, dude.
That's great, though.
Yeah.
That's
I
great, dude.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so you stopped doing the podcast. You started doing the gym. You're at like a year with Private Auto.
Yeah. Yeah.
Killer.
And you've never been to their office.
No.
Yeah, we heard about that.
That's
I've been to the
amazing,
CEO's
dude.
house, but not the office.
Okay, I've never met Brad,
'Kay.
but I have just heard the worst thing. No, I've heard genuinely, I've heard that he is such a good dude.
He's just a good guy. Like he just cares for people, and like just talking to him, he's genuinely interested in what you have to say, which is it's great.
rare.
Yeah, it's rare in a CEO. He's exited a previous company of his before he started this one. So like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, so like he's a successful entrepreneur, but doesn't have the typical stigma of someone who has like successfully exited a company, starting a new one. Like he's super down to earth, and he's really the thing I like most is he's definitely open to like experimentation. So like he doesn't have to like approve everything. He's like, no, just run with it. Like if you have an idea, just run with it. Like there's some lines we don't cross, but as long as you don't cross those lines, like if it works, great, we'll double down on it. So like,
Well, not like,
That's fair.
not sucking up, but if he's got a CMO like you, why not just like uncuff you and let you go?
yeah. So it's good.
That's really fun for you, I bet.
Yeah, it's super fun. Like it's funny
Yeah.
because I think I did a post about this, but like I make like 25% less than I did at my previous job, but I am like 100% happier. Most of it is attributed to him as a boss,
Yeah.
like bar none, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's hard to find people that you enjoy working with and
Yeah.
and for.
And who like
Yeah.
give you the time to cook, right? Like
Yeah.
give you
Yeah.
the time. Like,
Yeah.
all right, we know this is gonna take however long.
Yeah.
Well, dude, in the previous role, like so you guys will get this for social media. The reason behind every post, every hashtag, every caption, and like the content of every post had to be approved by the CEO and CFO in my previous company.
That's
Dude.
It
dumb
was-
as hell.
It doesn't even make sense.
was
Yeah,
a
that's
nightmare. So it is pretty easy to be happier than I was then, but still, like it's a pretty big deal. Like
Why would you even want to approve that as a CEO?
Well, I mean, look, I can see as an entrepreneur and having grounded, I'm really picky when it comes to the work that we deliver for clients.
yeah,
I'm really picky with that. I'm exponentially more picky when it comes to grounded stuff.
really,
Yeah, because I'm like, well, that's my brand. I was drawing flightless birds on my notebook at 13. Like I've had this vision of what I want it to be.
Yeah,
That candidly, that's one reason why 3 years in, we don't have a website. My team's tried to do a website twice, and both times I'm like, that's just not
not
good
it.
enough, guys. It's like, that's not bad. That just ain't it. So there's a part of me that can like recognize, oh, I'm pretty I want to
invest in it.
protect what
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
envisioning.
Yeah.
But at the same point, there are things like maybe a website where you're like, it has to be what it is.
100%.
But social media and a hashtag, and I'm like, guys, just go look at our social media. We're not,
Oh yeah.
Well, I think
It's great, though.
But like, I think you have to find a balance. But if you're
Right.
going to hire someone to be your CMO and then challenge them on like,
Everything.
justify this hashtag, dude, like,
you're in it for the wrong reason.
yeah. And why even have that person on the team?
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think you bridge the gap there, which is like, I think it's okay to like want to make sure that your brand standards are being met when you post stuff. But I think the reverse of that is like, well, then just teach your guys what you want to do. I mean, like, yeah, you said big stuff websites, but more in this case, which is like,
Yeah.
here's the guidelines. These are the hashtags. These are hashtags that we want to use. This is content we want to make. This is generally what we want to do. And then you play in that realm.
Exactly. Yeah.
Versus like, I got to see everything. Like, I just don't know how you'd have time. Like social media posts, dude, come on. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That
'Cause then
year
you're
that
right.
I was there is just like, I don't think about it anymore.
Because
That's a year where you're like, now I've learned what I don't want to do.
Yep.
you've
What
learned
kind of
about-
boss I don't want to be.
I don't, Yeah.
I've definitely had bosses who, I like one of my very first bosses. His name was Chad. He was a store manager in retail.
Okay.
I had no experience in retail, conned my way into being an assistant manager. I worked for him for like a handful of months, and then I went and I opened Zoomies. But having never done retail, having never been in management, I was in high school when he hired me to be his assistant. I just remember like starting Zoomies as a store manager thinking like, these are all the things that Chad did that I don't want to do.
Yep.
And I'm not like mad at him about it.
Yeah.
Like,
You just learn. Yeah.
but I just learned from that experience. And I think if you go at it with that mindset, I'm going to learn what I want to do and some things I don't want to do. Then I think it's as miserable as maybe those moments were. You probably took away a lot more from it than you realize.
Yeah. I mean, my very first manager was the most micromanaging person I've had. But starting off my career with that, I think has impacted my career in a huge way, especially like how you manage people,
Yeah.
like what not to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you learn more from that than you do of like, here's how you do it.
I was going to say,
what not
yeah,
to do.
you can define leadership by what it's not kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what leadership, but I know it's not that. I had a manager when I first got in the auto industry who was just crazy, dude. This guy was such a psychopath. And that was when I learned one of my quotes that I've still held on to it like 10 years later, which is a zero tolerance policy is a maximum lying policy. Like if you don't allow people to make mistakes and then own those mistakes, you're just going to get lied to. Like if you know, it's kind of like with your
I like
kids,
that.
like it's kind of like with your
Okay.
kids, like
Yeah.
you are never allowed to play on your iPad. Well, if they make a mistake or they get or whatever happens, right? Like,
Yeah.
or
They're
they're
a
just
kid and they play on
5
an
and
iPad.
they play on an iPad. Yeah. Like they're going to lie to you.
Yeah.
They're going to lie and say they didn't do it
I've
because
never
they
heard-
don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, I've never heard that exact quote, but the one that I use that I think is similar is you catch someone doing something wrong, they're going to work just hard enough not to get caught again. If you
Yep.
catch someone doing something right, they're going to work their ass off to get caught again.
Yeah.
So like I try, and it's hard when you see someone mess up, F up, you're like, but I try to just focus on like, this is the win. Let's do more of
Yeah,
this. Let's
catch
do
them
more of
doing
this.
good,
Let's
yeah.
do more
Yeah.
of this. I think it's, I think it makes it so when they do mess up and you go approach it and you're like, hey, I noticed this. This is, it's not a negative thing.
Right. It's
Right.
easier to justify. Like they know that you're coming from a place of, because you've caught them doing good enough. They know.
supported them.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
know that this is just, you love them, right? Like they know that you want the best for them because you care about that, right?
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I know because the boss we had, dude, he would just like, especially when it's out of your control, right? So if you have to do like so many car deals a day and you didn't do it,
Right.
I mean, that's what the term sandbagging is. Like you would literally put fake deals on the board just so you wouldn't get yelled at. Now, would you rather want to know like the real picture of what's going on or the lie, dude? Right? Like, and he wanted to hear what he wanted to hear and not the truth. So
Yeah.
it was, but that was, yeah, dude, that was, and that's how I kind of manage all my teams and my kids from then on. I was like, so I don't have any zero talent. Like I really don't like. If you mess up, just tell me and we'll fix it. Like we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? I'd rather have that conversation of like, oh shit, how are we gonna fix this? Versus like, you know, they're gone and they've been lying to you for 6 months.
Good luck.
and they just left you with
Good
a
luck.
big huge pile. Yeah, like big huge pile of shit.
Yeah.
Kind of wild. Dude.
Adios.
Yeah.
So you don't go into the office, but you get. I mean this in a positive way. You get around a lot. I feel like you're at every event. You're
It's because I'm up in
on
Ogden and
social.
no one's up there.
Dude,
And I need social interaction.
why is it that people think that Lehigh is the only place that
Oh, seriously.
that good companies and good employees and good employers and community can involve? Like, why? We talked about this with Riley from Donde.
Yeah.
Like, why is that community what it is, and yet there's not a Salt Lake community that's like that, and there's not a Ogden, Davis County community? It's weird to me.
It is pretty weird.
Like, yeah, it's super. I have no idea. Like, I think it's just my guess would be it's the amount of like tech companies in that area because of like their typical tech bro like culture that they're like, oh, we'll just have an event. We'll invite everyone here. And it's like, oh, it's our ICP. And like, yeah, that's how like events get started. And there's not a ton of that. Like there's not a huge pocket of that elsewhere. I mean, I guess there is some in Salt Lake City for sure, but definitely not North Utah.
No, dude. No one from Lehigh would drive to Ogden.
No,
Sadly.
I know.
They
Like-
wouldn't even drive to Salt Lake. I did a live podcast, dude. I tried to hold them in Salt Lake. They were like, nah. I was like, okay, what about the kiln? They were like, yep, 100 at. I was like, what the fuck?
Come on.
It's
Seriously,
bullshit.
no,
It's
I,
odd.
I had to make it where like someone would want to go to lunch with me and they'd be in Provo. So I'm like, okay, that's okay. Like we're super far away. So we'll meet in like Sandy or something. Like, nah, I don't really go north of Lehigh. I'm like,
You're
you
like,
expect
dude,
me to go like further down? Like, yeah, it's rough
Yeah.
because then to go somewhere, it's an hour drive, then hour at the event, hour back, and that's 3 hours gone.
Yeah,
every day.
half your
So-
day's gone.
Yeah.
yeah. So I've started to limit the stuff I do. I used to do it a ton, mostly because I had the time.
Yeah.
I don't have as much time now
Yeah.
as I did
Yeah.
previously. So now it is more selective. But yeah, it's rough.
Dude, you say that, and I remember working in Salt Lake at a dealership, and people would call from like the Ogden area, and we'd be like, yeah, come to Salt Lake. They would be like, cool, sounds good. We'd be in Salt Lake and have somebody call from like South Jordan, and they'd be like, oh, that's really far. Salt Lake's really far. I'm like,
'Cause,
dog,
dude,
it's a
Ogden and Davis
15-minute
County,
drive.
We're used to the commute.
It's
Yeah, maybe.
something. It's
It's
just
not.
like more
But, like-
spread out, or I don't know.
I
I
don't
was like,
know.
dude, it's 15 minutes. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Long drive my ass, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's like, all
doesn't-
right, 30 minutes to Salt Lake. Sweet. Yeah, that's easy. And they're like, oh, 15 minutes. Nope. Too
Yeah,
far.
seriously. And it was like, now that I remember that and it clicked, I was like, holy shit, yeah, dude, anybody south, it was like a trek, dude. They were like,
They think
well, we have to plan
Ogden
all
is
day.
Canada.
They're like, Salt Lake, we're probably going to have to get a hotel if we come down there.
I mean,
For the
I even
night,
talk to
dude.
people in downtown, and they're like, "Where do you live?" I'm like, "Kaysville." They're like, "I have no idea where that is." I'm like, there's 3 cities in between us. I'm like 4 exits from downtown.
Yeah.
What? And they're like, "Where is it?" And I'm like, "By Lagoon." They're like, "Oh my gosh, that's so far." I'm like, 15 minutes on the freeway, dude. 15.
Come on.
What is wrong with you?
I know.
But it does take time. It takes
Yeah.
so much time to
Yeah.
go to all those events, and I'm with you. I'm an introvert. I know people might not think that, but I truly am an introvert.
Oh, I'm totally an introvert.
so
People don't think that, but I
yeah,
am.
getting the energy to go to those things and then
oh, see,
function is hard. And then when you're running out of time, dude, I feel like I've run out of time to even engage on LinkedIn like I used to.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Yep.
It's not that I don't want to. I look up and I'm like, oh, it's 6 o'clock at night and I haven't even taken lunch. Like,
Yeah.
I guess I
yeah.
probably ought to
See your family.
walk to my kitchen in the office 10 feet away, get some food, and then go back to work for another hour. Like, I don't,
Yeah,
you
dude,
know,
that's wild.
maybe one day I'll have more time back, but right now it's just not there.
Maybe. When you started Grounded Company, you were like, I'm taking the leap. Did you think you'd have more time by working for yourself or working for clients?
Do you know who Crystal Lee Beck is?
Mm-hmm.
Love her.
She's awesome.
She's so awesome.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we like know each other or where that started, but when everything happened with Grounded, and I think if you know the story, it's like kind of a lightning hit in a bottle. I got real lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But I called her and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to hire anyone. Like I've got all these deals coming in, but I think I'm going to say no. And I'm just going to take like what I can handle on my own. And she's like, well, let me ask you what you want out of this business. And I'm like, autonomy, time. Like that's kind of it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, let me tell you, if you are a consultant, if you start a business that is Nick Stagge LLC, she's like, you're not going to have autonomy or freedom of time. She's like, you won't, because you're only going to make money on your effort and on your work, and that at some point in time runs out. She was like, so if you're really wanting that and you're telling me you're going to go out and just do it on your own, your action doesn't align with your goals. And I was like, okay, you're smart. Tell me more. And she was like, give it a separate name. Tell everyone we, us, my team, sell it that way, deliver it that way. She's like, even if you're a team of one, that's how you pitch it. That's how you position it now. She's like, when you can, you hire people and you get yourself out of the sales cycle, because if as the business owner you sell, they're going to expect you to deliver. Mm-hmm. And then once you remove yourself out of the sales cycle, then figure out how to remove yourself from the delivery side. Then you have autonomy and freedom and you can still run this business. And I was like,
Dang,
that's okay. I'm almost 3 years in. I'm 6 weeks in with a sales team. Just finally getting to, like, I've got a delivery team, but I'm still heavily involved in these things. I'm just now getting out of the sales process. And the goal is next year, I remove myself from the client interaction as like I'm the primary or a primary point of contact. Like, yeah, I'm here, I'm around, but you got your team for it. So I'm hoping my, year 4, I get to that point. And then by the time I've completed 4 years, I'm like, I've kind of achieved what I've wanted. But we'll see.
All right.
I thought her advice, it stuck with me. And all these years later, I'm like, I would have been miserable had I gone the other route.
Yeah.
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 But you certainly, my experience is, no, you don't have a lot of free time. You don't have a lot of flexibility.
Right.
Like it's all day, every day.
Yeah.
Vacations, weekends. It's brutal, dude. It's way less. The balance of life is way less than when I was the CMO of a tech company.
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah.
But you're playing the long game, I guess.
That's we've talked about this a little bit. I've talked about it on my podcast for sure. But like the pros and cons of living in that entrepreneurial spirit. Like Utah's very entrepreneurial and it's a lot of pros.
Yeah.
Right. But like, damn, dude, it's lonely and it's hard as shit.
Yep.
And it's really depressing sometimes, bro. And like, they don't tell you that though. Like, I remember I heard it from Elon Musk, and I really don't like to quote those guys too much because they're so unrelatable. But this was one time,
Come on, dude. I'm going to Mars with him.
but this was one time I really related with him he was on this panel at an event, and the guy was like, what would you tell a new business owner, like, or what would you tell somebody who wants to start their own business, kind of like you did? He got like really quiet, like he does, but it wasn't like his awkward quiet. It was like his like damn quiet. And he goes, don't do it. And the guy goes, what? And he's like, it is so depressing and lonely as a business owner and like that. And then when he said that, I was like, that's probably the most authentic thing he's ever said in his life. And I was just like, he was like, for real, like, he's like, don't do it. I wouldn't suggest it. And I was like, dang, dude, that's crazy. But like that clip didn't blow up because it doesn't fit the
truth. I think there's some truth to that though. If you're not sure, don't.
Yeah.
You should only do it when you're like, dude, I have to do this.
Yeah.
It's like that was the moment for me. I had wanted to do something on my own for so long. I'd done 60 other things that no one knows about because they all failed.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always halfway in.
Yep.
And then when everything went down with the company not to be named, I was like, I have to do this for myself. I'm not gonna go make money for someone else. I'm not gonna have to deal with the chaos and weirdness that's involved in that. I'm not gonna report to someone who is monitoring my hashtag use on social. Like, it wasn't like a maybe I should. It was like, I can't not do this.
Yeah.
And and ironically, that's the time it worked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The amount of side hustles I've had or started, or just hobbies I've had or started, like so many. Like I was a DJ.
Wait, you were not?
Yep.
Sick.
I want to dig into that more. Keep going.
Bro, I
Let's
would
go
love
back
to
to
be
the
a DJ as a hobby.
What else have I done? I started writing a book, hosted a podcast for a while.
Wait,
I
what? A book?
the acting piece. What else have I done? Oh, I thought I'd be in a band. I grew up a drummer.
Yeah.
That didn't work out at all.
Drumming school.
Tried out just a lot of stuff.
That's awesome.
But I was never all the way in with any of it. And I think that's why nothing ever
It's
really
so damn hard to go all in though, dude.
out.
It is hard.
I think about Optimum
Yeah.
and I'm like, sometimes I get that feeling like, should I have gone all in? And that's so.
That'll F with your mind.
It
Dude,
sucks.
it's so hard, bro.
It messes you up.
And this is what nobody talks about, right? Like, what does it mean to go all in? Like, I don't know, dude. I actually don't know what it means anymore, bro. This last 2 weeks, I've been second guessing everything in my life, dog. I'm like, holy shit, I thought I knew what all in was, but damn, this is
Bad
hard.
timing on this conversation.
Yeah. You're like, shit.
Okay, so I want to go back to the DJ thing, though.
Yeah.
I would love to be a DJ.
My wife has a joke that she shares,
Okay.
and she thinks it's so funny. And we were talking about this at dinner the other night, and I was like, I hate this joke so bad. Please, wife, stop saying it, and stop doing the little. She has a hand motion and a head motion that goes along with it. I'm like, I'm embarrassed. Like, I love you. We're 21 years in. I just have to say, please don't ever say this joke when I'm sitting next to you, because I don't want to be associated with it. So all that said, I'm going to tell the joke.
Yeah. I was like, don't watch this podcast.
What's a DJ's favorite pizza sauce? Oh, fuck. And then she goes like this. Like her head's on, like she's touching the thing. And then she goes, marinara. Like she's scratching the record. Marinara. I'm just like,
that is the best. Yeah, that's the best dad joke ever.
That's
dude.
amazing.
That's a great dad joke.
Yes.
it's so bad, dude.
Yes. I love dad jokes. Dad jokes are
So the DJ thing, what kind of music? What did you play at weddings? What was the deal?
So I wanted to be full on EDM DJ, play at music festivals, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So you're not just I got a cool playlist. You're actually a DJ mixing.
Yeah, and I got into producing for a bit, and
okay,
that's
again
tough,
just
that's cool.
Completely not all in at all, so I didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but a fun hobby.
Yeah, and in college, I hosted these dance parties called Dirty 30s, and they were 30-minute dance parties in our apartment, and that's all just 30 minutes and then out. And that
Dirty 30.
Where'd you go to college?
Utah State.
Yeah, okay. You probably couldn't go longer than 30.
Yeah. And I had
it's dirty 30 seconds. It's 30 seconds.
seconds. Real quick.
Plenty of time, dude.
Wow.
It's plenty of time.
Yeah. Have you seen that meme? He's like, 2 inches of snow. Is that a lot? He's like, no, that's no snow. He's like, that's zero snow. That's so funny. Okay.
But yeah, so that was, I had all the equipment. I did DJ. I think I did a wedding once. I did a middle schooler's birthday party who found me on Thumbtack and was like, hey, I want you to DJ my birthday party.
Shout out Thumbtack.
I was thinking it was some teenager or older person, and come to find out it's this middle school kid, and his mom's like, I told him he could get a DJ if you wanted, and he found you apparently. It's like, all right.
Tear the roof off that mother, dude.
Yeah. It was like in
That's
like
crazy.
the like upstairs apartment, and they were only in the room for about half the time I was booked. The rest of the time they were just like running around, and I was like, I'm playing to no one right now. Like, what's going on?
Sick.
Just in the flow,
What
dude.
what DJ mixer did you have?
I had for the majority of it, it was like DJ Usid. Is that the name of it? No, Instinct. It was an Instinct controller that I had, and I used the free software Mix,
Yeah.
and that was pretty much it. And then I upgraded some stuff before I realized like I wasn't all in, and I wasn't gonna like go in, and so
Yeah, I
Did
have.
you have a?
Oh, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask. Did you have a DJ name? Do you have a stage name?
yeah, it's DJ C Dub.
C Dub.
Let's
Dub is in the
go.
house.
I like that.
Yeah. Funny story too. It
Big
was
D.
also,
That would have been Dalton's.
Big D, yes.
Or just DJ.
DJ Squared.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude.
DJ squared. Yeah.
It was funny enough. It was also in high school. My friends and I
Mine's huge ass. DJ huge ass.
Dude.
kicked out of. Where'd you get kicked
Cup
out?
Bop.
Yeah, Cup Bop.
Yeah.
Yeah, for using
Shout
that.
out
Yeah.
Cup Bop. What up?
That was also
dog?
my-
What up, dog?
Rapper name in high school.
Cup
Kicked
Bop?
out of Cup Bop.
No.
Wow.
Sorry, dude. My bad.
Yeah, my friends and I started this like.
Your rap name was
C-Dub.
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 Yep. We had 2 mixtapes that we released in high school.
You laid down some beats and
Some beats. We were
and you spit some rhymes.
spit some rhymes. It was the widest thing you could possibly do.
Dude, that's
The 3
awesome.
widest guys you could possibly be, laying down some beats.
Not easy.
Dude, that's hilarious.
When I was at Zoomies, I had one store manager who worked for me who like wanted to be a white rapper.
Okay.
And then he would challenge all of us to like
Like a battle, like a freestyle.
no, to
rap
like
battle?
like we'd be at a 5-day conference in Washington, and he's like, I brought all my stuff. We're gonna mix a track while we're here, and then he'd
you
do
sit
it.
down with,
and
like,
and
the-
we'd all be
yeah.
like, we'd be like writing and like, oh yeah, I got one. He'd get up and he'd do it, and you're like, he's not bad. Like he's not good, but he's
Yeah.
not bad. But I'd be like, I got it. And then I'd get up there, and it's just like, yo, this line, it's fine. And you're like, this is so hard, and I suck so bad.
Yeah.
I,
dude, it
I feel
actually
like
is
anyone who listened to rap in high school at one point wanted to be a rapper and tried at
Yeah.
some point. There's,
Especially our age, we didn't know you could be YouTube influencers.
yep.
So you just wanted to be a
anybody could
rapper.
Yeah, anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
that's
Who was your
dude.
favorite rapper growing up?
Oh, dude, I was
Oh,
so hardcore
Shit.
into Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang?
Yeah.
I like Wu-Tang.
So hardcore into Wu-Tang.
I like Wu-Tang.
Jay-Z,
Okay.
like, but that dates me a little bit. Like I was in high school in the 90s.
Yeah.
So
Just a little bit.
yeah. But Kanye came out after I'd graduated high school, and then I was like, dude, that's the guy. Love Kanye, and now he's clearly he's like 3 levels removed from the deep end. I mean,
Yeah.
he's like, you know, but his music and his talent
so
there
damn
is
good.
undeniable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a bunch for hip hop.
Yeah.
What about you?
Mine was Lil Wayne.
Carter 3 was a
Great,
good album,
dude.
dude.
Yep.
Great.
Dude,
yeah.
I had in my iTunes, you guys remember iTunes?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the good old days. I had over 120 Lil Wayne songs because it was albums, like mixtapes.
Did you hear him? Did you hear his jailhouse freestyle over ice cream paint job?
I don't know.
Yes.
My favorite one.
I'm
That
sorry, but
was-
you guys are talking about iTunes like it's old. I used to show up to work with a book of CDs. I worked at Sam Goody in high school.
Wow.
And we sold cassettes.
Okay.
Cassettes,
All right.
dude.
All right.
We had a whole CD section, but there was
Yeah.
one wall that was still cassettes.
Full-on
You couldn't buy
cassettes.
records. Like, records weren't even like cool again.
Yeah.
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 I mean, we
It's
had
crazy.
CDs growing up. Like,
But dude,
CD
we'd have
player,
people
but-
walk into Sam Goody and they'd be like, so I heard this song on the radio, but I don't know who it is. And I'd be like,
Me either.
okay, bro, like I've got 5,000 square feet of CDs. I don't know what to tell you. And they'd be like,
Yeah.
but the song goes like this. And then you'd just be like, what? you work there long enough, you'd be like, oh, I know what it is, man. It's right. I got you.
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
just
yeah.
like pull
Is
it
it
out.
because so many people would request the same thing?
Dude, every day you'd have people walk
Well,
up like
yeah.
humming or like, I know this one line, it's this. And you'd be like, oh yeah.
And then you were like-
guaranteed you were like, that's on the Now Called Music Volume 6.
Bro, that's hilarious.
I worked at Sam Goody when the first Now Called Music came out.
Now that's what I call
you
music.
are- Yep.
Did you hear the roast of Justin Bieber? When Pete Davidson, there was like Ludacris and Snoop Dogg were up there, and Pete Davidson made that iconic joke. He's like, Ludacris and Snoop Dogg are here. You might recognize them from your mom's Now That's What I Call Music CD. And it was over, dude.
Dude,
I was like,
that's so
wow,
good.
what a great, that was
What a
classic.
dig.
Yeah.
That's
Dude.
That's perfect.
And then everybody lost. That was a great joke.
That's good.
That was a good one. Now That's What I Call Music, dude. We had those CDs, but they were from LimeWire.
Oh,
And
LimeWire.
I remember recording on my boombox from the radio.
Yes. yeah. You,
Casey Kasem's top 40 with his slight lisp.
Do you remember?
It was like
putting
Casey Kasem.
putting your phone up to the radio as your answering machine?
No, dude, I didn't have a
ringtone.
phone
Yeah,
until I
yeah,
graduated
yeah.
high school.
Well, all right.
And I graduated high school and got a phone and was like, text message? What moron is going to text me instead of call? Like, that's never going to happen. Now my voicemail's like, hang up and send me a text.
I will not answer.
Yeah. I'm not going to answer you.
No
Just text
way,
me.
dude.
Just text me.
Dalton does. He picks up,
I pick up
rando
anything.
phone numbers.
Part of it is because
Well,
I love it.
But it could you're in sales though, right? So
Yeah.
That's
That's also one thing. Yeah, I might take it. I also love getting cold calls.
That's
Love taking
weird.
it. I love.
Do you
taking
mess with
cold
them?
No,
oh,
no. I want to hear their pitch.
I love messing with him.
But what are you talking?
do
No,
it.
I'm not talking about
Super
scamming.
interested. Let's make this happen right now.
I'm not talking like scam calls.
Yeah.
I'm talking like actual cold calls. Love them. Can't get enough of them.
Oh,
They're great. Cold call me.
True born sales guy.
Yeah.
I just want to hear their pitch. I love whenever a sales guy will be like I have the best cold call or whatever, or like the best cold email. I'm like, cool. I'll sign up for it just to see what
No,
it
you
is.
don't. It's like, no, they're all the same.
I was like,
I'm
sick.
such a hater on it.
I was like,
dude.
so sick. This is sick, dude. Hit me with it. I bought a few things from cold calls.
Bought like what?
Like some software I bought.
When you say things, I'm thinking like physical goods.
Oh, no,
some
like,
jewelry person called you up. It's like, hey, we have a
No.
really
Check out
great
this
deal.
watch.
Well, so you can't. Yeah, cold calling consumers is pretty much illegal, but business to business, you can
Got
get
it.
away with whatever. Yeah, that's the I think there's only like 17% of the country not on a do not call list.
Really?
Did you know that?
I wish I could get on all of them.
But you can't. There's no do not call list for businesses.
My phone number, well, I probably shouldn't. I was about to say my phone isn't a business thing, but my tax accountant would be like, you take that off the podcast. Your phone is
Your
definitely
phone is
business related.
Oh yeah, 100%.
100%.
Everything is business.
I've been
related,
getting
dude.
so deep into like taxes as a small business owner.
The amount
and
of stuff you can
all
write
the-
off. It's crazy.
There's
Dude, he's
there's
like- he-
1,400 deductions available to small business owners.
He's just like, you need to put your wife and your kids and your parents and her parents all on the board with like a 0.0000001% share. And then anything that you do with your family is a board meeting.
Yep.
He's like, talk
Yeah.
about work for 5 minutes. Board meeting. That's a write-off.
Yeah.
He's like, you go on vacation. It's a board meeting for your company. Write it off.
Write it off.
He's like, set up a separate LLC
Yeah.
with your wife's name on it. Your kids all work directly for your wife. You pay each kid $13,000 a year. Goes from your S corp to your LLC.
I'm
You don't
so
pay
glad that
business
you said
tax.
that, by the way.
And then they don't pay employment tax. It's tax free. You got like there's 5 of them there for $13,000 a year. He's like,
You
it's
have-
completely tax free.
Yep.
Yeah, but you have to mention it's an S corp though, because all these damn I went to school for this.
Yeah.
All these damn TikTokers, you could pay your $1,000 a year. And
Just
write
set
it
up
off.
an LLC. It's
Yeah,
like,
no, you can't do that. That's called.
S-corp.
That's a little word we like to call fraud.
Well, they can do it
Another-
as an LLC, but you have
It's
but
the
the
self-employment
S corp
tax.
has to pay the LLC, and
You
then
have
the tax
the
rate
S corp
comes
has
through
to be
the
involved.
Yeah.
yeah. It's funky. It's weird, but like
Yeah, I have
I'm learning all those things, and I just keep telling him, dude, I want to be able to stand up in front of anyone and be like, this is exactly what I'm doing, and no one would ever be upset. But I'm like, but I want every single way to save $1 on taxes. Like
absolutely.
every
dude.
way, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if
bro.
you don't want to be aggressive with me on approaching those, I'll go find a new tax guy.
Yep.
Yeah,
When
you have to
find
be.
that aggressive tax person.
Yeah, his name's Tad Tuttle.
Ooh.
And I don't know why, but every time I talk to him, I want to do the, what is it, a George Costanza line? Ta-ta-ta-tell. And he's always like, not funny, dude. I'm like, no, it still is to me.
Yeah, dude, that's hilarious, bro. No, that's what I did small business taxes for like 5 or 6 years. I still do them for my.
It's amazing how many things you've done for 5 or 6 years being 29.
Okay, wait. Some of them that were simultaneously. Okay, I've been in sales and
I love
marketing
it.
for 10.
I love it.
It's great.
I did for the first part. My side gig with my mom was she's a tax accountant, and so for like 5 or 6 years, I quit after that. But like, yeah, we did small business tax.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was like a side gig for while I was doing that because I thought I wanted to go into like accounting, but
Are those
Really
the new,
do.
I'm shifting, but are those
yeah,
the
yeah.
new Kiziks?
Not the new Kiziks.
Do you have the new ones yet?
I do not because since I have ended a lot of my side hustles, my side hustle money is gone.
Yeah.
side hustle. Yeah, dude, that's right, dude.
So I need to get my side hustle money back up so I can buy some more Kiziks.
Dude, I saw one
Those
of their
things
new
are
pairs of
comfortable.
Kiziks. They're cool,
They're
dude.
good. They're good.
Yeah, they're
I'm
really
a Kizik fan.
comfortable.
I have
Shout out Kizik.
six pairs. Kiziks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We had Brett. No.
Oh shit, dude! Don't do
Blake.
this to me,
We
bro.
had Blake.
I don't remember shit.
We had Blake on the podcast. And Homeboy wasn't wearing Kiziks, I don't think.
No.
I was like, dude.
Remember,
well,
we
called
almost
him out on
blackmailed.
it.
We almost
You
blackmailed.
should.
What's his favorite for wearing hookahs?
Oh, yeah. Alex MacArthur was wearing
Hokas
hokas.
Hookahs at Disneyland.
Yeah. And
Alex.
in fact, I messaged him on LinkedIn. I was like, hey, dude, I know that you wore hokas at Disney. I won't tell anyone if you come sit on the podcast. He was like, who told you, that son of a gun? And I was like, I think you know exactly who it was. And he was like,
know
I'm going to
exactly.
get Levi. But yeah, I'll be on your podcast. And now I still tell everyone that Alex wore hokas at Disney.
I'm still telling everyone.
Dude, that's so funny, bro.
I've worked for brands where like they sell something. It doesn't mean you have to only wear that. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. My wife calls me a chameleon because I will shift into whoever I'm working for, hence the private auto.
Yeah. It looks
but
good, though.
I worked at Solomon and Sunto, which is a GPS watch company, and I became a runner. I hated running. But in order to hang out with my coworkers, I had to become a runner. And so
That office downtown Ogden is awesome.
yeah, it's sweet.
Yeah.
It's sweet. That's what brought me to Ogden in the
That
first place.
that company had and probably still does some really incredible talented people.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good people still over there.
Yeah.
A lot of them left because the parent company did some selling.
I never
off
knew
of
how to
stuff.
say it. Is it Armor or yeah.
Armor Sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but you'll see I would wear Solomon shoes all day, every day. I owned more pairs of shoes than my wife did. I think we counted them and it was 84 pairs of shoes because I'm sample size.
Dude, that's
So
9.5?
9.
9, yeah. I'm 9.5, 10, so I'm like, if
Oh,
I cram, I'm,
yeah. I had so many
sometimes
shoes.
it works.
But
Mine I have to always get.
I worked for a shoe company. I'm
You're
like, I'm wearing these
14.
shoes. You're 14?
I put
Yeah.
2 of my feet in your shoes.
Jeez.
Yeah. I got clown feet, dude.
Must be nice.
No, I think 14 is becoming more
Normal.
common. I think us 9, 9.5.
I'm like,
A short
I
guy.
claim
Like,
10 just
yeah.
so I can claim double digit, dude. I'm actually just fine in a 9.
I wore
That's
10s as
hilarious, bro.
in skate shoes. And then I realized they were too big, but I didn't want to go smaller than 10.
Yeah, those skate shoes. Oh, back in the day. and how
DCs?
The
thick
DCs.
they were.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
They're coming back,
Or the
dude,
Oasis.
the big ones.
Bro, Gen Z.
The Osiris D3s.
yes.
Cyrus. Yeah.
Dude,
And the Globe Chet Thomas.
Gen Z is bringing back all these weird ass things like that I never thought
Just makes
were
full
gonna
circle,
bring.
man.
Yeah, it really did. Legitimately, I read this article on trends. Gen Z, they were doing a holiday trends report. Gen Z shops at malls.
Really?
They're that's her favorite place to shop.
Malls are making a comeback,
TikTok,
dude.
Jeez.
TikTok is their Google.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll
Yep.
TikTok everything, and then they love to go to I don't know. And I did see it firsthand though. I'm talking about Gen Z they're exotic animal or something. But I was going to Apple to get my computer fixed, and I walked around before my appointment for like 30 minutes. All these kids were like walking around the mall, going into store. Like, why aren't you guys in school? Where the hell are your parents? What the fuck? The hell's going on, bro? Riff-raff, dude.
Riff-raff.
Riff-raff.
Dude,
They're baggy pants.
Those are hooligans, man.
I went to the Kizik store opening, and I got there early, like before the mall even opened. Did you know that there are like old walking groups,
Mall
like
walkers.
old
Yeah,
people?
uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yep.
I didn't know that
Yep,
mall
mall
walkers
walk- yeah.
existed.
Oh, dude. Well, so I worked in the malls for 10 years.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah, they just
They just go early
Hot laps,
and they
dude.
just walk.
Hot laps. Old,
Chatting.
Like, you start seeing like some 40-year-old, but it goes up to like 70,
Oh, yeah, it
80-year-olds.
was-
9 out of 10 are women.
Yep.
yeah.
They walk in groups and they speed walk. They're
Just
just
do laps in
chatting,
the-
but it's nice weather. It's patrolled, so it's safe. They can stop off and get like a drink afterwards.
eat
Yeah,
lunch.
the
whatever.
mall- Okay.
Like it's kind of just easy. So
It's free,
dude.
dude.
It's
you can go to the mall and like
Yeah,
you don't have
that
to join a
blew
gym or
me
anything.
away. I was like,
Yeah.
it's like 6 a.m. I was like, what are all these people doing?
dude. Like the little nuances that you see spending a decade in the mall.
Dude, you've probably seen some
That's
stuff.
crazy
Some-
stuff, dude.
Yeah, you're just like this
That's wild.
isn't necessarily a safe place for kids to go hang out. Like there's some dirtiness that happens in here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't
Yeah,
imagine.
dude.
I had a
wild stuff, dude.
store manager in Idaho Falls. I inherited that district or that part of the district.
Okay.
And they're like, yeah, this dude's a store manager, but we think that he is going to get taken to prison for 9 months. He was like, come to find out he was on parole for weed, got caught on like the second to last day before his parole ended smoking weed. So spent 9 months in prison.
Ouch.
And they came to me and Zoomies was like, can't fire the guy. Like, he's just on a break for 9 months while he's in prison. You have to have a backup store manager, but then when the guy gets out of prison, he needs it back. So I'm like, okay, like that's weird, but
That's super weird. I've heard
All
that.
right.
I've heard that for like FMLA, like sick leave.
yeah, but not for
Probation.
not for
Dog,
going to
you got
prison.
jailed, dog. What the fuck?
Zoomies was pretty like liberal about these things,
Yeah.
but
they're like, we actually want that guy.
so he comes back. He's got to hire this new like second assistant. This is all within like 2 weeks of him being back.
Okay.
He hires a second assistant. Maybe it's a month. I get a phone call from her and she was like, hey, I really need your help. I'm supposed to be promoted, but he's not promoting me. I'm like,
Oh,
you've been here.
yeah,
You've been here a month. Like, your numbers aren't great. Why do you think that you deserve it? And she was like, well, he told me that if I'd sleep with him, that he'd promote me. And I was like,
Damn.
he did he? And she was like, yeah. And so I've been sleeping with him. And I'm like,
Oh, that's
Wait,
terrible.
no. Wait,
that's
like-
horrible.
you're
told me
literally
this-
calling me,
No.
telling me that you should be promoted because you slept with the store manager. Like, lady, you got
This is
some
crazy.
Like, what? So I call the guy and I'm like, hey, I'm coming up tomorrow. Surprise visit. Let's do breakfast. So we do breakfast at like 8 a.m. across the street from the mall. And I'm like, yo, I don't know how to tell you what happened, but like, I'm just going to say this is the phone call I got. What do you have to say? And I tell him and he goes, oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, we've definitely been sleeping together. And I was like, all right, well, did you tell her? And he's like, yeah, dude, I totally told her that I'd promote her if she slept with me. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? He goes, but don't worry, man, I didn't. So it's like, we're in the clear. And I'm like, bro, you're fired. Like, that's my next response. I'm like, you're fired. Why, dude? Why? He like, it's
not like she got promoted.
Yeah, he literally couldn't understand it. I was like, the fact that
Oh
I have
my
to explain
gosh,
to you
Yeah.
why you're being terminated over this
is
says
exactly
everything,
yeah,
bro.
exactly why
Like,
you're being terminated.
hand me your key. You're not going back into there.
Yeah.
And then I go in there and she was like, so am I getting promoted? And I was like, no, like, absolutely not. And by the way, Milton told me that you guys were having sex in the store on the couch after hours. And she was like, yeah, we just closed the gates. And I was like, so you're fired? Like,
That's just so nonchalant about it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how do you?
they're in
that's
Idaho
crazy.
Falls, dude. Would you think like, what? But
Yeah, dude, that's
they're
wild.
both like, yeah, dude, this
Wild.
seems like a
Dude, that's
natural
crazy.
arrangement. those are the sort of weird things that I had to deal with for a decade.
That's
I'm so
hilarious.
glad I never worked in
Here,
retail.
you guys finish up real quick. I gotta jump on this.
Oh, and we should wrap because I know you got a lot to do. And
And now I got to drive back to Ogden.
God, freaking Ogden, dude. All the way past
O-Town.
the lagoon.
Yeah, past Lagoon.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on and being on the podcast. I hope it was as bad as advertised.
It was great. It was fantastic.
You're awesome, dude. I appreciate this.